Hi, I'm Chidi Ako, a marketing manager at PSI Software SE. I'm joined by one of our esteemed product managers. Please, can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi, I'm Martin Schlautmann, product manager for liquid production, decarbonization, and energy services at PSI Business Unit, Process Industries and Metals.
Fantastic. It's lovely to have you here. So we've had episodes earlier where we have discussed about some of the decarbonization services such as scrap tracking and the product carbon footprint tracking. So it's really interesting today for us to talk about, another solution that comes under the decarbonization services, which is the charge and alloy optimization. So could you tell us, describe what this solution is? Talk to us about this.
Yeah, we talked already about this holistic scrap management and about product carbon footprint tracking. And charge and alloy calculation has pretty much to do with that because it uses the information from the scrap tracking and from the product carbon footprint tracking in order to have these information already for the optimization of the best scrap and alloy mix for the next charge. So that's very important new informations about product carbon footprint tracking, which are incorporated in our new tool. And, these raw material topic is increasingly important because, the metals producers are under increasing pressure to reduce costs. On the other hand, to improve their sustainability, decrease their product carbon footprints, and on the other hand, also to guarantee the quality of their products and to secure the raw material supply. So all these topics are touched by raw material optimization, by charge and alloy calculation, and that's why that is so important. Scrap, for example, is I think 70% of the costs of a liquid steel making. So that is a very important level where they can optimize.
Okay, so thank you for describing for us the need that has called for us to bring about this solution. Mm-hmm. So can you actually tell us the important features and functions that is offered by, charge and alloy calculation, which, satisfies this need or meets these needs for steel producers and aluminum producers?
Yeah. We have decided to replace our traditional conventional approach for alloy and charge calculation, or traditional ACM tool, by a new tool which fulfills all these new requirements. It has been developed by a new partner, which we have contracted since last year. It is the company Concept Technology. They have a product called Control Maps. And this is now implemented as a third-party service on our service platform. And it has, let's say, four main components. The first is the base component for optimization of a charge for a furnace, for a single heat, taking into account all important cost drivers for such optimization. And then the next step is to look not only to one step, melting step in a furnace, but to look across all the production steps of a heat with all the charge and alloying steps which can take place, and to optimize that globally so that we have a global charge and alloy strategy optimized for a heat. And then we can even optimize not only for one heat, but for a campaign of heats with this new tool. So that means that we can take into account variabilities in prices, in availabilities of raw materials, and to look on whole sequences or whole campaigns over a greater horizon of time. Mm-hmm. And last but not least, there is also a module which has some self-learning capabilities, because scrap properties are quite uncertain in some of their features, like chemical composition, or also the specific energy demand of a certain scrap type. But that can be learned from the produced heats of certain scrap mixes. You can do some machine learning, some regression approach to learn about these influencing properties for the next mixes.
Okay, so I'm already hearing some very interesting benefits that could be coming out of that, sort of, probably even suggesting charge mixes that you've never considered before, maybe even some scrap optimization, maybe even profit maximization.
Yeah, for sure.
But why don't you tell us what are the benefits that, a metals producer can get from using, this solution?
Yeah. So this solution, as I said, it takes into account not only the price for purchasing a scrap, but also the price for the energy it needs to be molten down. Also the price for the CO2 footprint, which it has as a scope 3, and which it will produce during the melting from the energy it needs. So the scope 2, and also scope 1, if it has some carbon inside and this is oxidized, you have a scope 1 emission. So all these emissions are taken into account and as a cost factor for the global optimization. And it also considers these elaborated material properties like energy demands and CO2 footprints. And at the end, it also has incorporated different, let's say, metallurgical operations in the different furnaces, for example, for the electrical arc furnace, hot heel practice, and carbon injection for slag foaming. I will not go into too much into the details of metallurgy, but these guys from Concept have incorporated that in the optimizer. So that is pretty much beyond the conventional approach of a traditional, let's say, a charge calculator. And with these all these features, the customers are very well prepared for these market conditions, which I talked in the beginning, with these volatilities in quality of scrap, in prices of electrical energy, and in also availability of scrap. You have to procure your scrap in time. So if you use it in this campaign mode, you can early make procurement decisions about missing scrap for the future.
All right, so basically assisting customers in being able to purchase scrap, definitely giving them a great overview with the use of the parameters that are available with this solution. So, I mean, definitely, it sounds like an all-in-one package. So thank you for sharing that with us, Martin. Yeah. And so if you're interested, obviously, as Martin has described to you, some of the steps you can take on your decarbonization journey, if you're ready to take that journey today, whether it's your first step, whether it's your next step, PSImetals is definitely the product for you. So thank you for joining us in this episode, and please look forward to the next episodes where we can come with more information about how our solutions can assist you. Thank you.